got this message the other day in my DM. Someone said, how do I become mentally tough? And that may have been one of the most important and best questions that I've been asked since I've been on Instagram. That's why it tells me not enough people understand the importance of it. So here's what it is. I want to share with you, and I'm sharing this from the perspective of a high performer, a high performance coach, but for high performers. So if you're a low performer watching this, you're probably going to get triggered. This is your warning. Log off now. If you're somebody that wants more for your life other than sitting on the couch and eating potato chips and expecting life to come to you, then you're going to like this video. So first of all, rule number one, here's a secret. Do hard things, okay? Do some hard stuff. Right now, I see so many messages around the soft life and ease and wanting everything to just flow. And it's disheartening because I'm not against that. I'm not against peace is what I would call it. But I am against it for the sake of just wanting it to be easier. So I don't remember who this is. It might be Jim Rohn. I can't remember who said it. Maybe Zig Ziglar. But don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And I couldn't articulate that any better than that. Like, my favorite machine, cardio machine, is the exercise bike, the assault bike. Now, if you haven't been on an assault bike, you got to go to a local gym, check it out. It's not a random recumbent bike or anything like that. It's got the big fan in it, and when you're biking, you have the air blowing back on you. That's the assault bike or the Airdyne. So here's why. This is why I love it. I love it, number one, because everyone hates it. So that means most people aren't good at it, okay? They hate it. When we don't like something, we often shy away from it. So that's why I fell in love with it. And number two, the reason I love it is because it mother friggin' sucks. My God, does it hurt. You get on that thing, you ride. Not only am I not going anywhere, like it's the worst feeling in the world to get on the exercise bike because you're not going anywhere. You're riding as hard as you can. You're sweating. And then you look down, you realize I'm stuck in the same place in this gym, in my garage, wherever I am. So there's a psychology of realizing that I'm working really hard and I'm not going anywhere. Guess where else that happens? Entrepreneurship. You bust your tail, call after call, sales call after sales call, discovery call after discovery call, webinar after webinar, post after post, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not getting anywhere. But just like on that exercise bike, yes, you're getting somewhere. You just don't see it, okay? Because I'm not physically moving like I would be on the road bike. You know, if I'm out on the road going and everything's just the wind's in my hair, I get distracted. Because I get more and just, I'm comfortable. I'm like, oh man, it's beautiful. And I have all these distractions. But when I'm sitting there in my garage, in my gym, on that seat, my butt is sore because I'm just sitting there, not going anywhere, just powering away, sweating. It's hot. And you're like, man, is it that serious? Yes. You get on the assault bike, you will understand. And I've gotten off the assault bike where my legs will not stop violently shaking. Why? Because I believe in doing hard things. I believe something I'm exceptionally good at and great at because I embrace it is going to a dark place. I call it that pain cave. And I love it in fitness. I go to that dark place and everyone else, they get there, the lights go off, it gets quiet and they run. They get the heck out. Me, I brought me a sleeping bag and some snacks, baby. I'm going to pitch a tent in this dark place because the longer I can stay here, the better I become and the further ahead I am when it's compared to you, the marketplace. So if you say, hey, I want to become mentally strong, then what does that do? That comes on the back of becoming physically strong. Because you know what quits before the body does? The mind does. The mind taps out way before the body. And I'm telling you this as not only a high performance coach, but also a certified personal trainer, a master trainer, over 20 years at this point of training people, beginners, all the way up to Olympic athletes. And I can tell you right now, their mind taps out way before their body. People are standing there saying, I can't hold the weight any longer. Having a full 10, 20-second discussion. I'm about to die. I can't do this. I'm out of breath. I can't breathe. You're talking to me right now. You're having a full-on discussion with weight on your back, and you're telling me you can't do it, but you're doing it. You're not dying. You're not about to pass out. It's your mind. So those pain receptors in the brain are shutting things down, going through saying, this is it. You're about to die. You're about to pass out. This hurts. And you have to get used to that. Okay? You have to actually have been there before. So until you've played either sports at a high level and you know what it likes, or you've suffered, I'm going to tell you one of the things that, and it's a video, it went viral maybe a decade ago or more on YouTube. I'm not going to share it with you. You can watch it right here if you'd like. But that's me I was at a competition raising money for a charity, and it's where I tore my pec, okay? And people were like, oh, well, you had improper form, you had this. No, about 6 weeks prior to this, I was benching about 550 pounds, and I was benching on a narrow bench, and I strained my pec. I didn't tear it, I strained it. So in that straining, I put myself under an extreme amount of pressure. I did not do the necessary work, the recovery, the stretching, the physical therapy that I needed to do after that strain, and I jumped back in. I find people in business doing the same things. Sometimes we put ourselves under unnecessary pressure. So there's necessary pressure, and then there's unnecessary pressure. And then we strain something, or we pull something in business like, and you're not ready to jump right back out there. You need to get some help. You need to get a coach. You need to get somebody to say, listen, let's repair this. Let's learn from this before you get back out on the playing field. So I want to preface that even though I'm talking about being mentally strong and doing hard things, we need to do hard things a smart way. So you need to have, just like in the gym, I learned to have better spotters. I learned to be smart about how I warm up and taking care of my body and getting rest. It's the same thing you need to do in business. That doesn't mean pursue the soft and in life of ease. No, that means you saying, listen, I got to practice doing hard things, but I got to practice doing it responsibly. So you got to have some accountability partners around you. You got to say, listen, if I want to be good at sales, I need to track 100 sales calls, and 100 sales calls in an amount of time. I would love to see you doing 100 sales calls in 30 days. You're like, that's insane. No, it's not. It's like 3 calls a day. You know, and if you're saying the weekends, not counting the weekends, it's like 5 calls a day. What are 5 sales calls a day? 5, 15, 20-minute conversations with someone. If nothing else, you're getting better. You're like, what if people say no? You're going to learn how to turn that no into a yes. And then you're going to learn when the no's need to be no's and when some of those no's needed to be yeses. And if nothing else, you're going to learn, oh, why am I attracting the wrong people? All the people that are telling me no, they're not my people. So you're going to learn how to adjust your messaging. And you're not going to quit because you're used to doing those reps. So in that, the secrets to being mentally tough, doing hard things is doing hard things over and over and over and over. James, when do I quit? You don't quit until you get absolutely bored. When you get bored, when it starts to suck is when you start. So I go to the gym sometimes and I lift. I was doing squats the other day. I don't even count my first rep until it starts to burn. I was like, woo, my legs are on fire. Okay, I got 20 reps starting from here. So a buddy of mine, he was there. He's like, do you know how many reps you did? I was like, nah, I mean, I know I did at least 25. He's like, dude, it was like 40-some reps. I was like, oh. He's like, why? Are you not counting reps? I start when it burns. He said, why? I said, well, I start working when everyone else is quitting. That is my mindset. When everyone else is about to quit, when they're about to give up, when they're catching and going, oh, guess what? I'm going to experience all the benefit of the growth that comes from starting at the point when everyone else quits. And that right there is a shift. That was a huge shift in my mindset. I adopted that years ago. My body started changing. I started getting stronger. My performance went through the roof. My results went through the roof. And my mind became so strong. So I haven't really experienced too many things in life that when they happen, I'm like, oh my gosh, it sucks. It's like, no, I've done way harder things than this. Like, it's not that big of a deal, guys. And our mind makes things a big deal. It makes things bigger than they are, and they serve as distractions, and we cash our chips in too soon, and we quit way before we should. So I want you to develop the skill of, number 1, doing hard things. Number 2, I want you to develop the skill of boredom, doing things until you get bored, okay? And number 3, I want you to develop the skill of just shifting your mindset of, once I've gotten bored and once I start to feel this level of pain, that is when I'm actually starting. So embracing that suck, developing the tolerance to stay inside of that pain cave and just do things. And I know some of you are like, bruh, this dude's sadistic. He's this, he's that. Well, all the people who want to win big, some of the people y'all love watch. You love watching Jordan. You love watching Kobe. You love watching Tom Brady. All these people that you declare as the GOAT. Guess what? They had to get comfortable at embracing a high level of discomfort. So I want you as a high performer to start putting these habits, creating these habits and putting these things into action, and watch your mental discipline, your mental toughness start to develop slowly but surely.